7-3.
Yeah, he is comfortable on that right wing. He's been able to get some really good looks generated there. CP3 able to convert.
CP3.
The ball, he gets a lot of those. He tends to put the ball down on the deck, and the defense closes to him. Good driving kick by Tyler Hero to create.
Chris Paul drills a three.
And Jones ready to check in for San Antonio. If you're just joining us, Memphis playing without Ja Morant. Out with a foot injury. Here's Chris Paul for three.
Hell to do that with.
Chris Paul drills the three.
2 of their last 3 and 4 of their last 6. Chris Paul, midi. He wins it.
Those two big guys trying to go at each other.
Paul got a 3 in a 7-footer's face. A lot of open looks for a lot of those guys. Paul underneath for 2.
Too much space. Chris Paul for 3. It settles in. Closing. You better watch out for the block. Razzle dazzle. Oh, open the door and let him right through. Chris Paul now. A little bit out of control right now, the Spurs, but they've got the lead by 3. Chris Paul. No, they got the lead by 6.
Their 6th giveaway today. Both teams with 6. Zealous on Chris Paul. Boy, rookie against the vet. Paul knocks it down.
Still one of the better mid-range shooters.
Now Paul, mid-range, same spot. That's just a layup for him in his career. There is Paul working hard, right, trying to close, and Chris Paul knocks it down. Then looks at his old coach, Billy Donovan. Vucevic off target, Buzelis and Paul. It is Chris Paul, and he stops and pops a 3. Call was to Chris Paul, who had played for Donovan, and asked him all about Billy. That's how close those two are. Paul over Vucevic, the 2 veterans, and Chris Paul from the mid-range. 4-point game. Paul, there's that same action. Vucevic on him. Challenges the mid-range shot again, and timeout from Billy Donovan. Giddey on to Paul. There's the Bassie screen. Paul into a 3.
Told you. They're going to run that to death.
Brown again running, and Wembanyama denying Christian Brown. Paul all the way.
64 Denver, a 16-4 run now for the good guys. Now Chris Paul knocks it in.
He's walked into where he wants it. He's talking to Wemby.
26 now for the Serbian big man. Nuggets have made 7 in a row, but the Spurs keep answering. Now Chris Paul breaks through, coming in, lay it up, and in.
Right at the buzzer, too.
Savvy veteran.
2 on that trip. 2-point Spurs lead. Paul pulling up. Got it. 33% from the field. Paul pulling up. And money for 3. Paul, nifty handle. 39. Couldn't finish. Got his own miss. Step back against his former team.
Going again, and that's a good job of Keon Johnson getting to the middle of the floor to bring in the defense.
Pull up. Paul. Bottom. Wembanyama. Give it up for Paul. Paul takes the jumper, and he hits.
Here's Paul's pull-up 3. He got it.
No stranger to Christmas Day, of course, Chris Paul.
Here comes Jones off to Paul. Paul says, all right, I'll take it. Connecting.
That's a layup for Chris. I see that young man work so much, and he'll probably...
11 ties, 16 lead changes, a 9-0 New York run. Paul with the... Here's Paul. Spurs need something. Paul gives it to him.
Sixers shooting woes continue. 11 of 33 from the field.
Paul for 3. Veteran on veteran here. Shot clock at 4. CP3 pulls up. And a fake ejection, then a real ejection. Back and forth we go. Veterans, rookie stars, 2 to shoot. Paul heaves.
Oh my goodness, really?
and hits because he's Chris Paul. And that's the kind of night it's been here in
the second season. We're really showing you a lot of flashes.
Paul got it. Clutch against the Hawks. Since November 7th, he's been unreal. Paul left all alone.
That's Jeremy's basket, but he just mishandled the pass. 4-footer along the baseline, and again, that is not an easy shot just because you're close. You can't use the backboard.
Paul rises up and scores. That's his first shot of the game. Rises up and cans it. He says, finally.
Sucks in our jerseys, and there's Jalen Johnson all by himself.
Paul tied it, and a foul. Paul rises and scores. Uncle Chris.
Paul operating. Left hand inside out dribble between the wickets for the step back. Got it. 9 on the offensive end and 3 block shots.
Yeah, and everything Tom just outlined and showed us there is great stuff. In addition to that, as Chris Paul makes a 3.
Paul, mid-range in and out. Zach Collins there on the offensive glass. Sohan moves it. Paul fires, and he drills a 3.
Turning it up on the defensive end.
Paul drilling a 3 right in the Rook's face. Tonight, Bassio getting an extended run. Paul pulling up, high arcing mid-range is unstoppable. Stolen.
Try to get a little too fancy.
Mambo hands it off. Paul coming in, popping the midi.
He just goes right underneath the rim and starts to clear out space just in case DeMar has a rare miss.
Paul puts in the response. Paul just needs 2 rebounds for a triple-double. 7 seconds on the shot clock. CP3 working over Vucevic. Got it!
Yeah, well, it takes a lot of pressure off you when you start off the game getting 2 easy pop shots.
Castle takes the contact, still drives it, kicks it out. Paul 3. Got it! CP for 3.
Which again gets another wide open look.
Paul, midi. Yep. Sohan. Pirouettes. Left hand, no good. Trying to fight for it. Ball still on the ground. Paul's there as well. Steps back for 3. Oh! Paul with the effort.
They run some elbow action with the big man. Chris Paul over Sabonis. And the lead is down to 3. In the ball game, make it 14. Paul with a quick counter at the other end. Says, I'm going to the Hall of Fame soon. Shooting 42% from deep on the year. Paul, Twain, snatches it back. Back out to CP3. The 3-ball is wet.
Oh, Chris Paul, I mean, offensively has not even looked to be a huge factor.
Imagine how good our guys are going to be. You get Jeremy Sohan, Devin Vassell back, and get some rhythm and timing together.
And Mitch Johnson applauded the team's depth so far as Paul hits the mid-range jumper for his first bucket.
More just go vertically up and straight down.
Chris Paul picked the pocket of Kessler. And he'll take it up easy for the first 2 of the night. Chris Paul continues to play high.
It's our food bank, making a local difference that's built toward pride.
See, that's Lauri's first bucket since a 6-point first quarter. Chris Paul answers straight away with a 3-ball. Trying to spread that floor, space for Market, an inside runner. Wemby came by to help. What a block. And then tap the ball out to Paul. In the paint, jumper, up and good. Possession, second chance opportunity. Paul dribbles that off his back of his ankle, puts it up and in. Wow.
Still got it, Cola.
Weekend 3-point shooting champion. Wembanyama, the up fake, the handle, the dish. CP for 3.
There you go.
Just put in that bucket. Wembanyama spins off Paul. Or Curry, rather. There's Paul. Paul. In for 3. Almost came out, but it stayed in. It's Paul, Castle, Bassey, Champagny, and Barnes out there for San Antonio. Pick from Bassey. Pull up, CP3. Collier and Markkanen will check in next whistle. CP3 again. The mini! Unstoppable! In the second quarter. Paul, 3. Got it! 2 possession for an option. Wants a screen. Castle slips and puts it in! Puts a foul! Castle!
He's playing small because of the injury to Chet and Isaiah.
Last season, Oklahoma City was #1 in three-point percentage. Chris Paul will put in a 3. Paul at the controls. Dort was on him. Now they put Jones. And a 3 by Paul. Another one. 3 threes tonight for Chris. Jones there. Paul the 3.
Oh, man.
Chris Paul has really got the stroke going from distance tonight. Guarding down court. Caruso will meet him defensively. A push off and a shot.
Oh, man. Time out, Thunder.
Paul's on top. Caruso's on him. Shot clock at 6. Paul making a move. Caruso with the defensive stand. The bump. The lean. Fires a long shot. Oh!
Off a screen by Collins. And the lane, Harrison Barnes. It rims out. Punched by Collins right back to Barnes. For 3, Chris Paul on the first basket of the game. Pass that's baseballed across the court by Keldon Johnson. And Chris Paul hits the step back. Chris Paul going right. Shooting a 3 over San Antonio zone defense. Luka misses.
Zone.
Paul hits on a 3. A give and go, but Grimes played it well enough that Mamukelashvili turned down the pass. Chris Paul up the baseline to lay it in. 99-75 Dallas as we've gone under 10 minutes left to play.
Look at a post. Reeves. Wembanyama fires to Paul. He got it on a 3. And hit the 3. Here's Paul dancing inside and serving it in.
In the paint are inside the 3, 9 shots outside of 3. The only thing that's missing is the free throw attempts.
And a nice screen there from Wemby. Chris Paul walking in. Cashing one from Trey Ball land. There's Paul. Stepping back, pull it up. CP3 switching. That's what he does. Paul gets the switch. Valanciunas guarding him. They leave him all alone. Paul blows right by him at 39 years old. See you later, Jonas.
Don't want to give him little easy ones at the basket.
Wemby off the pass from CP3, gives it back to him. Point guard, pull it up, and connecting on the mid-range.
All right, there we have a little mid-range magic to start off.
3. Screen from Wemby. Paul pulling up, 3. Oh, he put it in at the buzzer! CP3! 3 straight games in double figures for Steph Castle. 4th career start tonight. CP3 hit the 3 at the end of the first half. He continues. Thank you to all the vets for their service and sacrifice. Chris Paul, mid-range. Yep. It's not just Tamar. CP3's right there with him in the mini-game.
Yes, he is.
Castle, CP3. Floats it and scores it. Chris Paul's got 12.
He's just so clever.
Paul firing a 3. He hits it for his first points tonight. Chris Paul. Paul. Mid-range. It's good. He had to hit one from the mid-range.
Going to block most of them, but keep going at the guy.
Yeah, that's the key for the Rockets. And Dillon Brooks felt like Chris Paul pulled him on the way to take that layup.
And then he pulled up and nailed the 3.
Where he knew he'd get to, and all the Spurs were lifted.
Chris Paul.
Ooh, that was, a good move.
Chris Paul over Şengün, and all of a sudden, Spurs are hot.
Force San Antonio to have to guard the rim. They don't have the size inside to do that.
A traditional Chris Paul move, gets to the free throw line, knocks down the mid-range shot. At the rim so far this year, he's taken 50 total shots coming in. 30 of them have been threes. Exhibit A, and he's knocking him down.
Opponent one-on-one and expend that energy.
A little deeper of a shot, but the same result from Chris Paul. It into Wembanyama. Gets to one of his spots and delivers as he's one to do. 4 or 5 from the field, he has none. Cut it down to a 3-point game after trailing 40-14. Chris Paul answers in kind on Norman Powell's 3. It's 6.
Chris Paul. I caught that too, higher grounds too. I caught that.
2-point game. CP3, 6 seconds on the shot clock. Pulling up mid-range. He doesn't miss that shot.
No, he doesn't. He tried to get the ball out of his hands.
Edwards working to become more of a playmaker. CP3. It's automatic at this point, folks. Get used to it. We're tied at 9.
He's just too big for any other defender besides Victor to guard him.
Chris Paul pulling up and hitting a 3. And the Spurs take the lead. It's McDaniels. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Back to Chris Paul. He fires a 3. And he puts it in. And the Spurs take the lead. CP3. Pull it up. And putting in a 3.
Big shot.
Enough to get it to Eubanks for the slam.
Will Hardy helped coach Eubanks in San Antonio as well as Chris Paul knocks down a triple. Utah 6 by the Spurs. Chris Paul, cool mid-range stop and pop, and now the back pedal. We've watched that for years. Walker now with 12 blocks in this season. Chris Paul, he hit the same shot near side to us.
10-point game. Chris Paul, Wemby, Castle, Champagnie, Mamu out there for San Antonio. Chris Paul again. He's 3 for 3 from the mid-range tonight.
Yeah, I hadn't missed that shot. You're right on the money.
What he had to do is stretch his hand out. John Collins got that shot off just in time.
Chris Paul, another mid-range jumper. He's in double figures with 11. Wemby, no look pass to Paul.
Collins Sexton short on the first 2. Wasn't about to let it happen on that one.
Paul feels it. Back-to-back threes. Down to 7. There's Paul on a floater. He's been doing it since the beginning.
Got Wembanyama off his feet. Throws it up for himself, but Sochan broke it up. That would have brought the house down had that worked. Paul drills a 3, and San Antonio back within 13.
Passed, and it's exactly what Chet wanted to do. We've seen him do it before multiple times since he's been in the league already.
And how about Chris Paul? Consecutive 3s for the 20-year veteran. Lead back to 14. You knew at some point the Thunder would make 3s. They had not the first 3 games. They were the best 3-point shooting team last year. Chris Paul for mid-range.
I want to see something more creative offensively for San Antonio here with where Victor Wembanyama is catching the basketball. Mainly middle of the floor, top of the key area.
Chris Paul has mastered that mid-range jumper over the years. Meanwhile, San Antonio 5 of 21.
That's really an incredible number because you think about the number of guys now in the league, Dave, that are making step-back 3s. That's a huge part.
Condensed on that long rebound, floats right back out to the Rockets.
CP3 responds from downtown. Sochan, handoff. Chris Paul going all the way, scooping it for 2. CP3 responds. 18 points. Chris Paul puts it in and responds.
Go! He hit it, and Tari Eason fouled him. Got into his landing space.
You get gas pretty quickly.
Houston wants to play fast, though. CP3. Why not for 3?
Inventing things that we haven't seen statistically. Shot clock at 6. Paul over Lively 3. Wow.
What a time to get your first basket. And we're in a 1.
Stepping back on Mobo. Thought about the 3. And he puts in his first bucket. Very methodical on that play.
Momentum. You know, I felt like the fans had just got into the game. We got a few turnovers in a row. Kind of become deflating when a guy like that gets me out there.
Barnes. Out to Paul. Who's got his third bucket of the third quarter.
Caught up, protected the paint, forcing them now to shoot more on the perimeter with challenged hands. And CP going to work.
Going to work! The point guard! Checking the clock. The fake, the fade, and the bucket! For the point guard!
He's a good dude. And again, the 80 games, especially when you've had like hamstring injuries and all these different things, as he makes that shot, we need to stop talking good about him. He's going to keep
That's enough
shots.
with Chris Paul. But yeah, you got a game. The Spurs did this to the Clippers last night. Took a double-double by Zubac as Chris Paul hits a three. Chris Paul has been running pick and roll for over 20 years. And drops in the three. CP3's got 8. Many games, he's like, I don't want the Warriors to have a run heading into halftime. He's going to launch a three himself. CP3 is 4 for 4.
Chris Paul, a Clipper from 2011 to 2017. 3 books as far as having back-to-back Rookie of the Year winners. Once again, the matchup, Chris Paul against Ivica Zubac. Forces him into a tough fadeaway. Paul knocks it down. While there's a lot of game to be played, this is making me a bit nervous here. I don't like the way the Clippers have come out here. Paul might pull up for a quick three here. Indeed, he will. He's the master manipulator of the clock.
Like 2 or 3 seconds sooner, but Donovan was running to the rim. And those are some of the things that DC can, oh, nice high arcing shot from Chris Paul. Would execute on it the way we've been seeing him doing it for the last 2 months or so.
Paul goes to work along the baseline. He nestles in a fall-away jumper, and he is indeed leading a one-man campaign here. Paul takes over. The general, with 2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter, will hesitate into the lane to the glass and lay it in, and draws the foul on Donovan Clingan. He still has that dance step.
Dunked the ball in the second half.
Right, I saw that.
Yeah. Paul, the mid-range.
So powerful. Cradles that ball right between 2 defenders.
Paul, another mid-range. Over. As Kenny Atkinson looks on.
Yeah, make it interesting here.
Paul drives. Get out of my way! I'm 39. Paul bumped. Wants it back.
Yeah, he's going to go hard here as he goes to the basket. He's going to mix up Mobley.
3. Good for Paul! There's life!
And the Spurs have played twice this year. They split the first 2 meetings. Now the jump shot is over the top and good by Chris Paul. Jalen. Castle. Nuggets nearly had it, didn't get it. Chris Paul for 3. That should be good, and it is. Trying to fight back. And Chris Paul, that's his patented shot.
One was asked the reasoning for sitting Jokic. He said all he needed to do was look at the box score and saw 50-plus minutes being played as Paul drills another mid-range jumper.
Make one of those. Now Chris Paul has got the 15-footer, and he rattles it home. 6 shooting, made a couple of threes. We're tied up at 95. Long range, that's good. Same play, same result. You get stuck on a good screen. Biombo's always been able to do that.
Paul pulls up for 3. Got it! Paolo Banchero, so good.
He's got a lot of size there.
Paul, right back, the patent mid-range. CP3's 2 for 2.
Baseline jumper, Chris Paul. Defense, offense.
Yep.
Stumbling.
Oh boy, wobbly legs out there.
Paul wants it on Isaac. Stops and hits another. Chris Paul. Barnes, former Warrior himself. Sohan keeps it alive. Chris Paul drills it. Tough to pick a favorite one he's had, right? I mean,
yeah, it's hard.
Paul fires away and hits the 3. Shot clock going down. Paul dancing on the 7-footer, blows right by him. The 39-year-old. See ya. A bucket there from Boston. They called a quick timeout. Paul back the other way. Stop and go. Puts it up and in.
Chris Paul likes that matchup.
8 3-point attempts per game. They make 17 of them. Paul in his bag. A over Hauser.
Well, we've seen it before.
White. Out to Hauser, a three. Missed that time. Paul again! Paul has been feeling it here in the fourth. Drives. Turns around. Again! CP3!
Especially with only 10 games to go.
The Cavaliers are back in the friendly confines of Rocket Arena for the first time in 2 weeks as Chris Paul's mid-range jumper opens the scoring. Allen almost with a steal as he nearly took it away from Biyombo. Paul, watched carefully by Strus, steps back for a three.
Odd we're at this point of the season and you're seeing a team for the first time. San Antonio, as that bucket is good. Shooter's bounce right there.
Fourth year in the NBA out of Houston. Paul quickly putting in a three. A deep one.
I'm assuming, so happy birthday, Fab.
Paul, a three. Another triple.
Oh, Wade's been shooting them.
11 of 22 from three-point land tonight. That is 50%.
Take it.
Paul again, unconscious.
Good play, though. Just to pull it back against the defense. There's Chris again.
4 tray balls. What he does.
Look what happens when you do that. You get a wide open shot.
Well, just couldn't put it down. Paul, another three. 5. Cinco. Drives, kicks out. Paul, other corner. That works. 6 threes for CP3.
Barnes again having maybe his best shooting year of his career. Now CP3 from the outside nails a three. Corner, that hair went from green last year to pink this year. CP from the outside. He's got it.
The defensive part when he's got the ball like that. Good decision maker.
Chris Paul just inside the free throw line.
Paul, just that first shot from 3. Dancing on Olynyk. And the mid-range is pure.
He got the big guy back.
Was it?
No, it wasn't. And the Hornets got a lot of wide open looks. Really took advantage.
Paul swishes again.
They were a little late giving that ball up in the open court. And you can really impose your will on 2-on-1.
CP hits it anyways. CP for 3.
All right, limiting the turnover and starting to make some shots.
Shot clock. CP3 against Martin. Stepping back and splashing. Shut off. Back out, CP3.
That was a great job scouting that play.
He's been red hot from downtown.
He's another guy that's got a lot of huge performances under his belt.
Paul responds and hits a 3. He's 37% this year from downtown. Biyombo, Fox, Paul, and Barnes are in there right now for San Antonio as we hit the 6-minute mark of the first half. CP3, vintage.
Spins between 2 defenders, lost it, got it back. Now out to Paul. 3-ball, left side, got it. Wow. Chris Paul drains the triple. Shooting well inside the arc, 62 plus. He's got 2 threes tonight. Paul converts.
Play of game warning on Minnesota. Paul fading away. Got it.
His post all-star numbers from beyond the arc, it's a bit absurd.
Yes. Chris Paul with the 3-ball.
But got a great look, didn't get the finish, but more of that.
High shot quality for the Kings. It's good shot quality for the Spurs. Chris Paul.
He played with Valanciunas when JB was a rookie in Toronto.
CP3 from deep. Knocks it home.
Paul sets up shot. Paul's first bucket of the evening.
Off from Chris Paul, gets downhill, forces the defense to step in. The lob pass to Biyombo's right on the money.
Paul, floater is good. Castle, another pass. Vassell cross court. Paul, that three's good. Vassell Paul fires. Paul hits.
Well, guys, that's what Isaiah Hartenstein says he appreciates so much about SGA. He said, I didn't realize how unselfish he was. He said, look at the way he plays defense. He carries such a huge load offensively.
Poised, he makes the right play and the right read every single time.
Paul, 3 more.
On Jaren's right leg as he went down.
And now Chris Paul, corner 3. He hits and ties the game at 10. Wants it. Fox drives. Sets up Chris Paul. And he buries the 3. 10 threes for San Antonio here in the first half. What does that do to you? What's your response?
Well, the biggest thing, it puts you on alert that this is not, you already said, the standard at which they play. Chris Paul gets the bounce.
Both these teams on second halves of back-to-backs. Spurs lost last night against New Orleans as Paul splashes in the jumper.
There's spacing in the corner, and Barnes sets it up beautifully for Chris Paul.
And that's a great job of Chris Paul, not standing and watching, but relocating to that corner.
Good blitz by Eve. Chris Paul in the fall away. He's got the mid-range. He always has.
Always has.
Always has had that. Spacing for the corner 3. And a shot. Harrison Barnes actually missed from there. Chris Paul, though, tees it up.
He ain't gonna miss
got it. He's got a wide open look. And that's a surprise. Vassell. And a break. But
usually the way it happens,
right.
Usually the way it happens, you end up giving up a 3.
And
there you go.
Chris Paul.
There you go.
57 seconds left. A 4-point game. And Fox has got a crease. And a break. Looked like a turnover waiting to happen instead of 3.
And that's what Chris Paul is great at, shooting that 3.
Well, the cold weather with a connection there. It's cold in Detroit today.
But you know, in all reality, if Chris Paul, he's going to make this.
Yes.
Well, in all reality, that year.
Paul gets it ahead for Vassell. 3-0 lead for the Spurs. Paul, the fadeaway, book it. O'Neal, ball fake. Booker. And the rebound grab by Fox in transition. Trying to add to this lead. Chris Paul got a 3.
Not sure they could play this lineup with Victor Wembanyama.
They have changed the De'Aaron Fox 2 to a 3. That is definitely a 3 for Chris Paul. And the Spurs go back in front. It's a 12-point game. We approach 5 minutes to go in this third quarter. Biggest lead has been 16. Paul got it. Straight away, Trey.
First points of the quarter for Tatum, who has 23. Paul's 3 is good.
A lot of questions. Would he go to the bench?
And again, Boston, those second chance opportunities. Here's Paul's pull-up. He got that one.
CP working a little two-man, frees himself up. San Antonio, it's raining. CP to end the second quarter. Nothing but net for Chris Paul.
His best option, but that's what it turned into. Wembanyama factor. Chris Paul from the baseline scores again. Boy, they are just on fire shooting the basketball. Chris Paul crossing over. Caldwell Pope stays in front. Free throw line jumper is good by the 39-year-old Chris Paul. Now Black is on Fox. And it's switching everything. Bitadze on Paul. He gets past Goga and escapes to the basket.
To be the go-to guy in recent games. Getting a chance to be the second banana with LaMelo Ball back out there. Chris Paul, there's his first 3 points of the game. T2 over his last 3 games. NSJ's got 13 right now. Back-to-back for Chris Paul.
All game for the Hawks. Chris Paul off the rotation. That 3 ball is pure.
Trae Young has been using a different approach, it seems, this year offensively. As Chris Paul comes off the screen, checks into the office. Fox rejects the screen. Good pocket pass. Zohan. One more to CP3, and he knocks down the 3 ball. Timeout, Hawks. And Wembanyama up to Fox. Spins out to Paul. Chris Paul for 3. Got it. And Chris Paul makes it a 7-point Spurs lead.
There by GG. Physical move to get the finish over Keldon Johnson.
Sochan, quick move to the bucket. Stymied there by Edey. A Chris Paul three is in. Paul. Dancing, fading, and it rolls down for CP3. The hot hand in the first half for Miami. Paul, left wide open. CP for three. They move it, Sochan. Paul fakes the pass and sticks it for his second triple of the night.
Well, he just worked himself inside for great position.
Paul got it back.
No subs by either team. Early timeout by Milwaukee after the 9-2 Spurs start. Make it 12. Paul a free. Castle running the offense on this possession for San Antonio. Finds Paul. Point guard to point guard. CP for three.
I think he was trying to sidestep Victor. Didn't create a lot of space. I thought he was going to get to that one.
Paul, the patent fade away.
Victor, too much length.
Paul crossing over, no look. Castle almost had the dunk. Back to Paul, who buries it. Ever. Paul over Zubac, got it. The first bucket for the Spurs. All tied up at 17, approaching 5 minutes remaining first quarter. Paul got it, snap in the net for three.
7 seconds. Oh, sham God between the leg dribble. Wembanyama blocked by Turner.
Miles Turner was prepared for all the action on the perimeter.
Paul for three.
Should be very, we should be happy, and we're very lucky to have a guy like Victor. Hopefully he's going to bring a lot of championships for the Spurs and a lot of medals for the national team.
For the first time as a Spur. Shot clock winding down. Chris Paul.
Sixers by 4. Wembanyama out to Paul. His three on the way. Good.